President Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva arrived at Pirallahi district to attend the opening ceremony of the new residential complex built for the internally displaced persons. Chairman of the State Committee for Refugees and IDPs Rövshan Rzayev gave information about the work done. It was said that under the executive order signed by the head of state in 2011, it was planned to build a new residential complex for 306 internally displaced persons temporarily settled in the hostels and other administrative buildings in Pirallahi district. The new residential complex was ordered by the Fund for Social Development of IDPs. The contractor was Crystal Absharon Company. The construction was started last year. 3 9-story buildings have been constructed under the project, with 2 of them have 72 flats, one has 162 flats. The residential complex also houses a school. Other necessary infrastructure facilities have been built. When building the complex, special attention was paid to the power, water, gas supply, irrigation system, communication and television network. This is the 104th modern residential complex built for the IDPs. President Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva were told that 37 of the repaired flats are 1-room, 107 2-room flats, 126 3-room flats, and 36 4-room flats. The total area of the flats is 24,000 square meters. The displaced families temporarily settled in the hostels and other administrative buildings in Pirallahi district will get flats in the new residential complex. Speaking about the important steps taken in this regard, activities carried out under the leadership of the First Vice President Mehriban Aliyeva should be emphasized. A residential complex for 1,026 displaced families has already been constructed in Gardaq district. 470 flats in Masazır Mehriban settlements of Absharon district and Romana settlement of Sabuncu district have been given out to the IDPs. The displaced families moved from the incomplete building of Emergency Aid Station in the 9th Micro-District in Binagay District to 465 flats purchased by the Aliyev Foundation. The residential buildings constructed for 1,005 displaced families in Sumgayit were also inaugurated. It should be noted that residential complexes housing modern settlements and multi-story buildings covering an area of 3.5 million square meters have been built for refugees and IDPs since 2007. Housing conditions of 58,223 families, or up to 300,000 refugees and IDPs, had been improved by the end of 2018. Only last year, 5,923 displaced families moved to new apartments. In the first quarter of 2019, 2,227 displaced families were provided with the new flats. President Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva, who reviewed the conditions at Bozlu Secondary School of Laçın region, were told that the school had been built for 220 pupils. Necessary conditions have been created here. Thanks to President Ilham Aliyev's care for the development of education, this sphere is among the most important principles of the state policy. This process is not restricted to the capital, also covers regions. The gym of the school has been provided with necessary equipment. Then the head of state and First Lady met with the displaced persons. Congratulating the internally displaced persons on the opening of the new residential complex, the head of state said the highest living standards had been created here. This shows once again that the state cares much for the internally displaced persons, said President Ilham Aliyev, and underlined that the top priority was the solution of the problems of IDPs. Noting that housing problems of IDPs were being solved successfully, the head of state said activities should be further continued in this regard. The head of state also drew attention to Armenian-Azerbaijan Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. It was said that the main goal was to restore our territorial integrity. President Ilham Aliyev said steps were being taken both in the political diplomatic sphere and in terms of military build-up. President Ilham Aliyev also talked about the successful development of Pirallahi district. He said that the infrastructure facilities were being constructed, buildings were under construction or being repaired. The head of state said the renovation works will be further continued. IDPs region Sevdan Kemal Musayevas as well as Jabrail Haydaru expressed gratitude to President Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva for care for the displaced persons. A photo was taken in the end.